Oh, my tea! I had prepared tea, and then I completely forgot about it for, I don't know, a long time. The 41st verse. A great scholar hears of the Tao and begins diligent practice. A middle scholar hears of the Tao and retains some and loses some. An inferior scholar hears of the Tao and roars with ridicule. Without that laugh, it would not be the Tao. So there's a constructing saying in this. The way of illumination seems dark. Going forward seems like retreat. The easy way seems hard. True power seems weak. True purity seems tarnished. True clarity seems obscure. The greatest art seems unsophisticated. The greatest love seems indifferent. The greatest wisdom seems childish. The Tao is hidden and nameless. The Tao alone nourishes and brings everything to fulfillment. This is what we talked about with humility and obscurity. The Tao is hidden and nameless. The Tao, it is not for the Tao to show itself for you. It is for you to return to the Tao. Another anecdote by my master, he told me something that I completely misunderstood. God is hiding in the details. So I started looking in the details of everything, which was like a good practice, because then it's like the more you look in the details, the more you start to see like details are infinite. Everything is infinitely large and everything is infinitely small. So it was a beautiful practice. Look at anything and like really go into depth with the beauty, like it has, the whole world is inside of it. That reminds me of a poem that I read. Anyway, but then I told him, I was like, yeah, I really see it was my time of spiritual pride. I really see what you're meaning with the God is hiding in the details. And he just started laughing at me. And he was like, God does not hide in the details. God does not hide at all. God is everywhere, right in your face. Yet you are the one who's not seeing it. It is not for the Tao to show itself to us. It is for us to return to the Tao, for us to see the Tao. The Tao alone nourishes and brings everything to fulfillment. The Tao alone nourishes and brings everything to fulfillment. There's only one creator. It is not my fruits to claim. The success of be happy is not my fruits to claim. A great scholar hears of the Tao and begins diligent practice. Like, which scholar are you? Are you a great scholar who has a diligent practice? Are you a middle scholar who hears of the Tao and retains some and loses some? Or are you an inferior scholar? I do not believe you're an inferior scholar. And also, would a middle scholar sit and watch a long video about self-study of the Tao? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that's a great scholar who would do that. And also starting that practice. I hope you're doing the practice. I am doing the practice. And I'm reflecting upon where I am here, because I feel like I could do more. You know, I could meditate more. I could be aware about it all of the time. But then I'm reminded about balance, that the Buddha says, not too tight, not too loose. If you want to play an instrument, any instrument with strings, if you make the strings too tight, you cannot play. They're going to like spring, like pew. If you make the strings too loose, then you can't play. There will be no sound. Not too tight, not too loose. The middle way, the balance, is always the way. So I would say myself of a great scholar. And also the whole purpose of Be Happy is the scholarship, is the practice, is to help, and that we can have a practice together. So the constructive saying in this, I thought it would be so fun to go through these like one by one, because they are like seemingly opposites, but it is so true. The way of illumination seems dark. What is the way of illumination? It is to go into the yin, and yin is the dark. To go into the shadow. To go into that part of ourselves that we don't know, that is unknown, those part of ourselves that hurts, and those part of ourselves that we hate, those part of ourselves that we do not want. to be a part of ourselves. That is to go into the yin. And the way of illumination seems dark because it is dark. We're going into our inner darkness, to our inner unknown, in order to light it up and to become whole. So the way of illumination seems dark. Going forward seems like retreat. Maybe the most important moments of my life has been moments of surrender, of deep surrender. And what is deep surrender? It is to retreat to the Tao. That is deep surrender. And what is the way forward? The way forward is the way of returning to the Tao. Because the way forward here is the way forward in the path of illumination. That word forward is the of retreating, of surrendering, returning. The easy way seems hard. This is so crystal clear, right? If someone triggers you and you get really, really mad, what's easiest to do? To keep calm, be patient, and forgive? Or to react and become mad bad and start a huge fight? Not like a physical fight, but with your partner, with a friend. The easy way is the way of forgiveness. The easy way is the way of patience. The easy way is the way of loving. And why is that the easy way? Because the relationship is going to be so easy, much easier. It's going to be loving, it's going to be enjoyable. The hard way is the way of keeping resentment, because it's going to be hard to be together. It's going to be hard to be together, to live together. You're going to create emotional pain. You're going to hurt each other. But you're going to hurt each other either way. But one thing makes it hard and the other thing makes it easier. But in the moment, choosing patience, choosing forgiveness, choosing to love when your partner is showing their shadow towards you, that's the hard choice in the moment. But in the long run, that's the easy choice. The easy choice in the moment is to react and become angry and blame. But that's the hardest choice. I have an example of this. Yesterday, we went to the restaurant to help because there's a lot of tourists here on the weekend. So not yesterday, because it's Tuesday today, right? It's not Monday. It's Tuesday today. So 2 days ago, Sunday, there was a lot of tourists. And she did not want to go. So what happened, when we were getting ready, she was slow. And I was like, hey man, we have to go. Let's go. And she was angry. She was mad. And what I did was why are you mad? That's what I told her. I was like, why are you mad? I became mad at her. Why are you mad? Cheer up, stop that behavior, right? Her being mad was because it was difficult for her to go and she did not want to go, so she was mad. Then I got mad at her because she was mad. And I realized this. I realized, oh, this is just me reacting. This is not what I want. What I want is to be her support. What I want is to be her unconditional support. And I was luckily that I noticed it quite fast. So I went back to her and I said, hey man, I'm sorry for being mad. It was just me being reactive. What I really want is to be your support. I know it's difficult for you to go, so let's go together. I'm here with you through it all, and we're going to be together, and I'm here with you. I'm your support in this, right? In the long run, that's the easy way, because then we're creating a loving relationship of support. But in the short run, that was the hard. The easy for me was to react and be mad at her for being mad. True power seems weak, right? What is true power? Humility. The Tao is true power. And how do we live in harmony with the Tao? It is to allow and return to the Tao. So we are not forcing anything on anyone. We're just allowing everything to be exactly what it is. Now that's true power. And that's also the most difficult. It is so easy, again, to go in and want to control everything. And we think that the more control you have, the more power you have. But the Tao is saying the complete opposite. The less control you have, the more power you have. Beautiful. True purity seems tarnished. Here I'm really reflecting upon those times when, and I probably think you have experienced this too, those times of letting go, those very hard surrenders. You've been thinking about those, like when you have held on to your shadow for such a long time, and finally you let it go in tears and everything, and the face is like, when you're crying heavily, you seem tarnished, destroyed. That's the path of becoming pure, and you feel that purity beneath. You feel that calm purity beneath all the pain you have just been letting go of. That's what I'm thinking about when I think about this. True clarity seems obscure. Obscurity, right? Clarity is to be okay with not knowing. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know when I'm going to die. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen in a moment. I don't know what the next words is that I'm gonna say. True clarity seems obscure. Yeah, man. Also because true clarity is to just let everything be what it is, right? And to do nothing. Trust in the Tao. Trust in life. The greatest art seems unsophisticated. I love this too. What is the greatest art? The greatest art in life is the art of living. The greatest art in life is the art of living. And I would also say, like, the greatest art is the art and mastering of the mind, because mastering of the mind is the art of living. The more you master your mind, the more life is a beautiful piece of art. Now, life is always a beautiful piece of art, whether you choose it to be suffering, self-mastery, or love. Self-mastery and love being the same thing here. It's always a piece of art. And no one ever puts any attention to that. No one ever puts any attention to that. No, it's always like, what have you achieved? Or like, art is something that's very sophisticated. It's very sophisticated. It's like, it's a skill and it's something of doing. But what about the art of living? No one ever talks about that. How are you in life? How are you doing? How's your relationship with life? Are you thriving? Are you having fun? Are you enjoying? Do you think your life is beautiful? Those are very good questions. I know of a beautiful, beautiful woman. Her name is Surya. And she is one of the ones who knows. And you can feel when you're in her presence, you're just smiling. It's crazy. You're just smiling, and it's so beautiful. I love her so dearly. I was in her ashram in Brazil for 3 weeks. I'm gonna go back there one time with my Promadida, with my fiance. I'm gonna love being there. I'm gonna love seeing Surya again. Last time I saw her was my birthday last year. Beautiful. There was a cacao ceremony on my birthday, and I was like, this is such a beautiful birthday gift. Made me so happy. What was it that I wanted to share? Yeah, and she's the only one I have ever met in life that when we parted, she said, I wish you a beautiful life. No one ever says that. No one ever says that. And when I was saying that, people were like, oh, whoa, like, okay, see you later is good enough. People were not, maybe thinking about that. But I really think, not that we should think about it, but I really think it's worth to think about. I really think it's worth to think about. The greatest love seems indifferent. This is what we talked about in the beginning of the episode, right? The greatest love seems indifferent. Yeah, man. Because there is no, the sun does not shine somewhere and not somewhere else. Well, on the other side of the earth where it cannot reach, but then the stars have the time to shine, right? Again, obscurity, right? The sun is laying low, so then we can see the moon and we can see all of the stars. The air does not choose who deserves it or not. Water does not choose who deserves it or not. No. The greatest love is indifferent. The air is there for everyone. You can be Buddha, you can be Hitler. The air is there for everyone. I think that shows pretty much what this means. Now there's also another verse that shares with the true values, the highest virtue. This is from the 38th verse. The highest virtue is to act without sense of self. The highest kindness is to give without condition. The highest justice is to see without preference. The highest justice is to see without preference. Like this puts it perfectly. I think it puts it very perfectly. The greatest love seems indifferent. The greatest wisdom seems childish. I have an anecdote from this. I was once working in a kindergarten, and one thing I noticed with the children playing was that they were doing yoga poses. The yoga poses that I was practicing back home. How fun is that? And they were doing it, playing. Then they were like hanging, and they're moving their bodies all of the time. They're moving their bodies, they're hanging, they're running, they're moving, they're sitting, they're crawling, like they're doing, like their wisdom is so, wow man, their wisdom is so profound. They're living their emotions 100%. And when they are angry or screaming, they are really angry and screaming. And the next moment they let go and they're happy again and playing again. That is wisdom. That is wisdom. The Tao is hidden and nameless. The Tao alone nourishes and brings everything to fulfillment. I want to say a very great thank you for watching. Blessed be you. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful life. See you next Tuesday in the next episode. Be happy.